Go, go, go. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. What's going on? I hope you're all ready for some Final Fantasy. Are you ready to play some Final Fantasy? I hope so. Hey there, T-Drink. Go, 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 go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What it do? What it do? It's your smoking nephew. Hey there, T-Drink. I hope you're having a good Friday. I hope things have been well for you this week. Earning those stamps, I see. T-Drink is earning stamps. I still haven't figured out what we're gonna do with that. I haven't figured out if we're like what should be the special thing that people earn if they get enough stamps. I haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, we're back with some Final Fantasy. I hope you guys are ready because ooh, my eyes are going weird on my model. We're gonna be we're in it for the long haul. I think it's gonna start getting juicy, so we're gonna power through, and then maybe do it tomorrow evening stream as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you all posted on that. But let's dive back in. Last time we defeated the like the Kashun Falls or Kashun whatever. It was some sort of fort. I'm not sure what it was, but it was a dungeon nonetheless. And we're starting to make our way. We're starting to really do some cool things here. So our characters are getting leveled up. I already have 1,000 HP on both my my DPS, so that's cool. I wish I could change the order because Maria is Guy should like my OCD brain is Guy should swap places with Maria. Oh, I'm starting to like okay, all right. So they're starting to be a little tough. Right off the bat with these spiders, I got unlucky, I guess. Everybody's stunned, so I guess they're just gonna eat me. That's really not fair. That's so not fair. Oh, right off the bat like this. Really, game? You're really gonna do this to me, game? I got one turn out of that. You're really gonna do that to me? Really gonna do that to me, game? We're off to a great start. Anyways, these nerds we can beat up. We can beat all these nerds up. The queen bee. No, I'm the queen panda, right? I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore me, I guess. That's sad that it did that to me though. Right off the bat like that. What's this? What's this? Oh, Chocobo Forest. You found a chocobo. I want to ride my chocobo, to ride my chocobo. Da 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 da. I want to ride my chocobo. Oh oh. Kiwi, kiwi. I wish I could jump. This is supposed to be a perfect time to be able to jump. Da Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, it's Dreadnought time. Oh, we have like no. Okay, we're gonna abandon this. Okay, okay. We need the cottage, or did I use it? Did I use the cottage? I didn't use the cottage, right? I did not use the cottage. Hey there, Jenna. How's it going? We found the Chocobo Forest today. Chocobo Forest. How's your Friday? How are you doing? All right, we're good. We're good. Well, what do you want? Ask. Dreadnought. Rebel Curs. I wish chocobos were real. Yeah, I know, right? They kind of are in a way. You could argue that ostriches are chocobo or tiny chocobos. Worked for over an hour longer today. I'm sorry about that, Jenna. That sucks. I've been off all day today. No work for me. I still woke up like it was, you know. Okay, so he has incredible resistance for no apparent reason. Alright, so we're gonna take this a little bit more serious. Protect. No, go back. I need, protect, and then we're gonna apply it on everybody, and then we want, blink on everybody, and then we're gonna have you hit with that. Now it was fun because I switched teams and was done with my assignment ahead of time, so I worked on a semi-private project instead. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Ah, I see. That's good then. That's good. We are going to try our best to get as far through Final Fantasy II as we possibly can today. I don't know how much, how far I can get, like realistically, like how much of this game can I tolerate? We'll take a break at some point if that becomes an issue, but. We should be fine. All right, Gordon is getting. We gotta give Gordon some better equipment. You have a mithril spear, mithril axe or mithril sword. I think mithril axe. We're gonna upgrade her to the mace, dual maces because reasons. And then you need, yeah, we'll give you the silver curious. We'll give you the mithril helm. I could have swore that I had better. Oh, I gave it to Guy. Yeah, I gave Guy the golden armor. That's right. That's right. So what is the silver curious is +10. What's my opinion on stealth games? I love stealth games. I I was a huge Splinter Cell nerd. I love Splinter Cell. Well, old Splinter Cell. Metal Gear Solid was great, but I really like Splinter Cell because it's about being stealth and like you're a spy, you know, and it's like James Bondy kind of in a way, but not really. It's like realistic James Bond, because realistically James Bond is not stealthy. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows he's 007. Everyone knows he's a spy. But like with Splinter Cell, it's like they don't really know who you are until like the end of the game, you know? So it was always really cool. Ever played Eric's Home? It's a third-person stealth. No, but I can take a look at it. World's last Splinter Cell fan? Okay, T-Drink, here's my opinion. I like the PS2 versions of Splinter Cell. And I kind of am okay with Convictions, but I do agree that Ubisoft kind of poo-pooed all over that series, and it's not nearly what it used to be. Definitely not what it used to be. I used to play Pandora Tomorrow on the Xbox with my cousin all the time. Pandora Tomorrow? Yeah. Pandora Tomorrow? Yeah. There are some games that I would look into in terms of I wanna say that like I like stealth games. I like action games like that. I mean, that was my childhood. So it's sad not a single AAA stealth game since Metal Gear Solid 5. I think there's a reason behind that. And I don't know that we're ready for another AAA. I think if anyone that I trust with an action RPG or an action game right now, AAA wise, it's Capcom. Because of Pragmata, right? It's very clear that Capcom is trying to turn a new leaf and make good games again. But I don't trust the usual suspects who would make and that's not necessarily true because that one Ghost Recon game came out, and technically it is stealth because there's stealth elements, but they're really terrible, but you can technically play that game like it's a stealth game. So I'm inclined to include it. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my pass through. This new headset that I bought is so good at like canceling noise, that like I'm like straining to hear my voice subconsciously, and I can feel it. Like my voice is gonna get really gravelly by the end of this, because we're gonna do like a 5-hour stream today, 6 hours, something like that, and I don't want my voice getting raggly. What headset is it? It is the Steel Series. Oh geez. It is what is it? Which one is it? It's a fancier version of the Steel Series, basically. Here, is it on the side of this? Is it on the side of my headset? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a Steel Series. Arctis Nova Pro. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Cause why I bought it is because it came with like a little standalone. What do you call this? It's got its own little box thing with a big dial on the front of it, so I can turn the volume up just specifically on the headset. And and I opted for a Cherry MX keyboard. And when I say Cherry MX keyboard, I don't mean like the switches are Cherry MX. I mean the keyboard is actually Cherry, like from the company that makes the switches, the whole keyboard. And I actually really like this keyboard, but it's a white keyboard with Cherry MX brown switches inside to go with my... So I did blue LED lights, a white case, a white keyboard, a white mouse, and I have a giant desk mat of Garagura, and then she graduated. So I have a Garagura themed like PC setup right now. And then she graduated. I bought all that stuff. It was coming in the mail, and then she announced that she was graduating, and I'm like, no. But yeah, I should probably post. I am very proud of myself of this build though, because I even went out and bought the cables, the riser cables or whatever you want to call them that plug into the GPU. The GPU, I couldn't get a I didn't feel like buying the white GPU and I couldn't get a white motherboard easily. So at the time when I built this PC, so I opted for the black. The closest thing I could get was a black and white one, but it actually works because there's a lot of black and white in a lot of the other stuff. So I have a black and white, or mostly white, but some black PC. You know, it's panda themed. What I've decided is that it's not necessarily Garagura themed. It's panda themed. And an ARL RGB lights, so I had them set to like light blue for Garagura, but I could change them to whatever color. So we can like change them onto Power PC, Panda PC. Yeah, Panda PC. we can change it to green for YuHira, basically the LEDs. And I know some people are like LEDs, blah blah blah. I like them. You spend a lot of money on these computer parts. There's no reason why we can't have nice things and look at them too, you know? Dang, he did a lot of magic damage there. I don't like LEDs on in PCs, but your PC is your PC. I'll not tell you what to do. I can't see your PC anyways. Yeah, exactly. But I kind of like them. They're very subtle. I don't do the like gamer RGB. Like I have okay, and hear me out. Base case scenario, right? I like having an LED lit keyboard, and the only reason I like that is because sometimes I like to turn off all the lights and game in the dark at night, and I know that's terrible for my eyes, you know, but then when I like the glow from my LEDs and the lights actually helps with the not being in complete darkness. Yeah, I'm the same way at one point, but I prefer more minimalistic designs. Yeah, I mean, it's not... So basically what I did was only the front fans have LEDs in them, and then I put a strip, one single strip down the line of the case so you can see in it, and then that's it. Too distracting? Yeah, see, I don't mind that, and I think that, like, because of eye strain, it's, I don't know why my... So, Nezima Live updated, right? If you notice, my eyeball is, like, freaking out. So, Nezima Live updated... Oh, I know why. My camera was kind of falling off the screen, and I didn't even notice it. That's why you know... How you know you're a, VTuber, when you forget that the, like, camera is there, right? I forgot my camera was, like, falling over. I know, I'm breaking the third wall, or the fourth wall right now, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's why the eye was... But Nezima Live updated recently, and it has this function, this functionality, where when I turn my head to the side, it's supposed to help with, like, blinking. Because in the past, when I would do this and I would blink, my whole model would freak out. And it was a big issue. It was like a kind of a bug they knew about. So now it doesn't necessarily do that anymore. But sometimes, every once in a while, the eye will kind of like change in size for no apparent reason. I like Nazima Live, but you have to pay for it monthly, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess at some point I probably need to think about VTube Studio, for the simple fact that you don't have to pay monthly for VTube Studio. If I ever like lost my job or something, you know, that would be kind of an issue, a pain point. It's not really that much. It's like, I want to say that it's like, you're probably paying for like the same price for Netflix a month as I pay for Nazima Live, and this is what I like doing. So instead of having a Netflix subscription, I have a Nazima Live subscription, basically. Don't get me wrong, I have Deezer as well, though. I have a music subscription. Everything's a subscription base now, though, you know? Like, I really hate that. Back in my day, kids, you know what I miss? I miss the semblance of, like, that I felt like I owned the software. I no longer feel like I know I never actually owned the software because software licensing and yada 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 blah blah blah, but at least I felt like I owned it. Like, you know, I got like a box and some art and it was mine. That's why I switched from Adobe to Affinity. Affinity is great though. I actually really like Affinity's products. I think Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo is actually better than Adobe. A were-panther? No, that's a Corel. That's a Corel. That's a Corel. Come on, game. You can't tell me that that's not a Corel. Were-panther. Get out of here with that were-panther. Were-panther. I was listening to a podcast yesterday about were-jaguars and the Olmec culture. Still been too lazy to try to get to work on Linux. Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't switched to Linux yet, is because of the pain points of, but Linux, for all intents and purposes, Linux is way better than Windows at this point. We just need the software developers to get on board. Well, like, I think is the more that Microsoft inshitifies Windows, it's actually a good thing. Like, if you think about it, it's kind of a good thing because more people are gonna be drawn to Linux. More people are gonna ask questions about Linux, and I think that over time we'll maybe get a distro that's like actually user-friendly. It's a lot more user-friendly to install. We already kind of are halfway there. I think some of them can be a little bit, but then one that is supported by all software. Like, that's my ultimate dream, is that one day we will have a Linux that is just supported. Just all your major softwares just support Linux. Unfortunately, there's not great alternatives to Adobe software. I mean, there are. I think Affinity Designer is a great alternative to Affinity or Adobe Illustrator. I think Affinity Photo, depending on who you talk to, of course. I think Affinity Photo is great for how it handles layers. UF Raw gets you by, but yeah, there really isn't an equivalent to Lightroom, unfortunately. You don't need Substance Painter. Adobe Substance Painter is I almost kind of want to say that 3D Coat or even Quixel Mixer is probably better, and you can do material painting in Blender these days. And yeah, Substance Painter has a lot of like really cool like features. You know, it has a lot of cool features that help with painting your models very quickly. But wasn't Quixel discontinued? Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. No, it wasn't discontinued. It was kind of like they've rolled back some of their free features, basically. And it's now, how do I put? The library itself still exists. The Megascan stuff exists. The materials still exist. You can still go on there and do a lot with it. But I don't know that they're going to keep working on their like independent software. It's gonna get baked into like Unreal Engine 6 or whatever. That'll just be like what you do, what they want you to do. That's what Epic wants you to use for Unreal Engine 6, basically, is the way I understand it. And it'll be, so you'll probably get, which they should have done that a long time ago. If Epic really wants these studios to adopt Unreal Engine, two of the things they could do to help people out is think about giving, if they gave me tools, I would consider Unreal Engine if they gave me the tools that Blender has, and also a way to get rid of Substance Painter. Then like it would, Unreal Engine 6 would be worth it. Like hands down, it would be a great software. But I'm actually looking at Godot or just using the URP or the Universal Render Pipeline for Unity. To be honest, is what I'm looking at right now. I don't know what I'll end up using, but yeah. You heard it. You both heard it here first. Don't spread it too much because I don't know if this will work out. But I'm actually gonna think about making a game. I want to make my own game. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's either gonna be a retro style pixel game, 2.5D pixel RPG, or a bullet hell. I might do both. I might do a bullet hell first, and then the 2.5 RPG pixel. We need more Final Fantasy Tactics like games. We really do. We don't have enough options for those. We don't have enough like tactics, and I'm worried about the turn-based industry, right? I'm worried that turn-based games are gonna go away because AAA is pushing so hard, and I don't know. Like, am I gonna have to make a freaking turn-based RPG, JRPG? Like, obviously I'm not Japanese, but am I gonna have to make a turn-based RPG in a 2.5D pixel style myself? Because they're just gonna do rehashes and remakes and leave it up to the indie community to keep the turn-based RPGs alive. Did you tell you about the tactics game you're working on? No, T-Drink, you didn't. I didn't know you were working on a game. In my opinion, is that the community is too atomized and fragmented for it to be a real competitor to Windows in terms of software compatibility. Yeah, I think that is true about Linux. I think that their like decentralized open software platform version of Linux is one of the reasons why. But I mean, there are distros that are becoming a little bit more mainstream and kind of like Windows in a way. Like Mint, for instance, I've been hearing a lot about. I think it's called Mint, right? Stuff like Proton is a great step in the right direction. Yeah, I think so. I think Linux will be more wildly used. I think Mint is something that like everyone is. If you're gonna use Linux, I hear about Mint so much and all the different features. I really want them to make. Someone somewhere needs to make something that's really easy to install. It's an ISO file or something. You put it on a flash drive and you stick it in your computer and it boots up just like a Windows download, and you don't have to do any extra stuff, and all of the software that you could use works. I want actual proper Linux, but for that we need to like, and I think Mint could potentially be it. Mint OS or whatever. Maybe we need to Panda OS this crap and make a. No, we're not gonna make a Windows operating, or we're not gonna make an operating system that's crazy. Actually remembered a game I want to make it at some point that's inspired by Mirror's Edge and Beyond Good and Evil when I asked about stealth games. Yeah, I have actually never played... Is Mirror's Edge a stealth game? I don't really think... I think that's more of like a runner. That's a runner game. It's its own kind of genre, that parkour. Like, you're running from enemies. You don't really have to... I think it's more about that than it is being stealthy. But Beyond Good and Evil is a good game, yeah. But it required the backing of major corporations. People just like it because it's one of the good corporations. Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, as Windows continues to, like, Microsoft continues to screw the pooch on Windows, I think that you'll see more and more push for Linux. And I hope that someday, someone, somewhere... And yeah, it's going to be tough because they can't patent stuff. They can't lock down their operating system. And so, like, maybe the military and the like medical community and a lot of people that want like security are maybe not going. But like, I'd argue that like Linux is a lot more secure than even Windows is. Like, Windows 11 is terrible for security. And like, they've all switched to Windows 11. Like, the entire world is running on Windows 11 right now. Like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but like, most hospitals and most like the military, everyone, they're all switching to Windows 11. If they have already not, they're going to switch to Windows 11. Most all medical industry like professionals are switching to a singular website or a singular piece of software. A singular piece of software and a singular operating system. This is not a good idea. It's just not. And I understand their like need to, logistically, they're trying to get everybody on board with the same. So you just have one software across the entire medical industry and like the country over, right? But like, what happens if that gets hacked? And then everyone knows how to hack it, and they can just go around. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's terrible security, terrible IT. I don't like it personally. But what can you do? It's going to require centralizing around a major, most probably Debian, Ubuntu-based platform for sure. Yeah, and what is Mint? I think Mint is Debian, right? Several European countries' governments are looking to switch. China is moving everything off Windows too. Yeah, I mean. The entire like North America is run off of Windows, but it's terrible for security. Like it's that like they try to lie about this TPE stuff, and you have to have this TP. The TPE stuff just is causing more issues than good, and you don't need the TPE stuff. You really don't. Mint is Ubuntu. Oh, okay. Which one am I thinking that's Debian that's like really popular? Is Proton? Which one is Debian then? I'm not up to date with Linux stuff. I don't know anything about Linux, to be honest. Maybe they vibe coded that feature. I don't think Microsoft vibe coded the TPE protocol stuff, but I feel like it's causing more issues than good. I begrudgingly upgraded my PC to a new motherboard and a new CPU because of Windows 11. I had to, and it's been causing me more issues than, like, I miss Windows 10 in my old PC, to be honest. I don't miss my CPU, mind you. Virion, I meant to meet you at Kashun Keep, but things didn't go as planned. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming to rescue me. We rescued the princess. Oh, Sid, they had him locked up. Sid mentioned, let's go. Let's save the thank yous for later. I'll head for the airship with the princess. You find what that engine and toss the sunfire in it. Got it? I'm gonna get the airship ready for takeoff, and I don't plan on waiting around. This version of Sid reminds me of like this whole like Dreadnought thing, and then like what they were just saying there reminds me of Star Wars for some reason. Han Solo, is that you? Is Sid Han Solo? I've never had issues with Windows 11, luckily, until I caused it to be hacked, and I can't blame that on the OS. Yeah, I mean, people are still getting hacked. Like, the TPE stuff is supposed to keep you from getting hacked, and it's just not. It's not. The, like, consumer grade version of Windows 11 sucks. The enterprise version is bad too. Yeah, I have Windows 11 Pro on my PC right now. Because get this, right? Windows 11 is so trash that you have to have Windows 11 Pro if you want more than, like, okay, fine. Most people are probably not going to more than 32 gigs of RAM in their PC anymore, right? But it's 2026. Most motherboards will support up to 256 gigabytes. And if you're going to do anything in the creative industry, like video editing, you're going to do 3D modeling, you're going to do any kind of video game stuff, you almost kind of need 128 gigs of RAM. I'm sorry, but it makes your life easier. You can do it with 32 gigs, but like 128 gigs is nice, right? You need Windows 11 Pro to unlock the 128 gigs. Windows 11 Home Edition does not support 128 gigs of RAM. So like most people are building PCs and putting an operating system that doesn't even support the full functionality of their motherboard. Just by like nature of most gaming motherboards, most people just don't even pay attention to it. They're buying a motherboard and they're like, oh yeah, I'm future-proofing it. It's gonna do up to 256 gigs and blah, 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 blah. First of all, after I've built like 4 or 5 PCs now at this point, I don't think you can, in 2026, you cannot future-proof. And they'll gaslight you on this, but my personal hot take is it is impossible to actually future-proof a PC. It's impossible. You don't know what's gonna happen. When I built my original computer, I future-proofed it. It was gonna support up to 256 gigs. They told me that Windows 10 was that was it. We may never do another operating system because we can just put features into Windows 10 and make it better and better over time. It's got Windows DirectX 12 on it. We're fine. We'll just stay with this for a long while. We're not going to do what we did with Windows 7, 8, 9, or 7, 8, and then jumped all the way to 10. Which, by the way, where did Windows 9 go? Like, you guys went. Who in Windows is coming up with the numbering system? I really want to know. Like, how do they function? How does their numbering system actually function? Because we went from having being the years, and then we had like random like XP, Vista, and then all of a sudden it was Windows 7. Where did Windows 7 come from? And then it was Windows 8. Or Windows Metro, or whatever the hell it was called at the start. And then they changed it to Windows 8. And now, where did Windows 9 go? Like, why did we jump to Windows 10? It wasn't that big of a jump. In fact, it was... The operating system itself actually jumped back to being more like Windows 7 than it was like Windows 8. And I'm getting used to the way that the operating system in 11 works, but I actually miss the old start bar. I really do. The Windows 10 start bar was like, it was perfect. It was great. It was all you needed. It was all you needed. You didn't need anything else. I loved the little Metro tiles on the side. I liked that. The little Windows 8, I mean, call me wrong if you want to. I don't care, but that's just my opinion. I actually kind of didn't mind. I actually liked Windows 10's operating system. I think for an operating system, I mean 7 was peak, right? But 10 was good. Well, okay, 7 really wasn't peak. I would say that XP was peak. Windows XP was great. That was the golden days of Windows. Windows XP to Windows 7 was like peak. Vista. I don't really have an opinion on Windows 7 Vista. I didn't like it, but we at least didn't have the problems we have today. You know? When I had the choice to install XP, I went for Server 2000 instead. Yeah. Wasn't there also a Windows 2000? Hated the aesthetics of XP. I mean, back then, like, it looked... There was nothing really different about XP over Windows 98, in my personal opinion. It was just shinier and looked, like, fancy, you know? That was the only difference in my opinion. It looked like plastic. I mean, everything looked like plastic in 2000, though, Jenna. Yeah, I think that's kind of a hot take, Jenna. Not in Germany. Yeah, I mean, but here in America, everything was like that was like the millennial age, you know? We were trying to be like sci-fi. Everything was plastic. Everything had this like, oh, it's the 2000s now. We're so cool. We're so sci-fi. Look at all this stuff. It looks like and that's why I think XP looked the way that it did. They were trying to get away from that like 90s look. Yeah, everything has looked so boring since then. Yeah, it really has. I don't know when it changed. I really don't, T-Drank. I've been having this conversation with people. I want to go back. Like, where... I feel like... This is not a Virtual Odyssey conversation, probably. But... And maybe we can have this conversation at some point in time. I think that Western... No, the world over, right? To a degree. I think that culture has stagnated. I do. And what I mean by that is that we have not progressed. And think about this for a second, right? Think about this with me for a sec, like 2 seconds. We have trends, but we have not progressed past 2012. We haven't. It has been what do they call that when well, anyways, we went from 2000, the 2010s, now we're like ending the 2020s, really. We're 2026. It's about to be we're about midway through 2026. It's gonna be 2027 next year. We're approaching the end of the 2020s. We are. We've got 27, 28, 29. We have 3 more years. Yeah, three or 4 more years until the end of the 2020s, right? The 2026 does not look any different than 2020, and it definitely doesn't look any different to me personally, right? If you showed me something from 2012 or 2010, the only way that I can tell that it's different is by if it's a YouTube video and it's at 480p. That's how I know that it's from 2010. That's the only thing I can tell about it. Like the graininess of it. But like, I saw a game, right? Actually, you know what? We're gonna pause for like 2 seconds. I'm sorry, this is not really even a part of Virtual Odyssey, but we're gonna pause for like 2 seconds. And I got this dramatic music in the background while we talk about the death of culture. Let me show you something. I really want to emphasize this point, so I'm gonna show you something, and just to like prove a point here. Now what I'm about to show you came out in 2022, okay? And then so it's the Cultural Odyssey, yeah. I wanna show you guys something. This came out in 2022. And then I'm gonna show you another game that came out in let me see if I can find the other one. Hold on, I gotta pull up both of them. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to find the other one. If I can find it. That's not the picture I wanted. There was a picture that I saw recently. And it was like a PS. Oh, here. Let me just show you this one because I still think it to this day this game that I'm going to show is it's incredible that this was even on the PS2 in the first place was just insane to my like high school brain, you know? Okay, I'm gonna show you guys two things. Let me pull this up. Window capture, properties. We're gonna go here. Nope, that's not it. Oh, it's this one. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys ready? Look at this. I just want to show you this because I think this is interesting and it's relevant to the topic. Okay, so this game came out in 2022. Nobody even talked about it. I didn't even know about it. But like, if you told me that this came out today, I would have been like, "Oh, this looks really cool." Like, this looks really cool. It came out. This game is 4 years old already. 5 years old. You know, like okay, so I just want to show you this, right? This is a AAA company. They made an anime game. I don't know why it's not on the Switch, actually. I want to see if it is. I'm going to look it up. But it's called Monochrome Mobius, if you want to look it up. I didn't hear anybody talk about this. This looks fantastic, graphically, you know, speaking. This looks great for, like, an anime-based game, right? And this is very common, this very common graphical style right now. Okay? And, like, yeah, the character models could use some work, but, like, they're trying to optimize it, right? And, like, for what it is, this very impressive. It's a very, very good looking game, right? You can see the like rock textures here. Very cute looking, very good looking game. All right. So I'm showing you this. This is 2022, right? Okay. Okay. Now let's look at this. Okay. This was on the PS2. This was on the PS2. This is PS2 graphics. These are PS2 graphics. Like, what are we talking about? What do you mean this was on the PS2? This game came out. When did Gran Turismo 4 come out? When did Gran Turismo come out? 2004. And it looks like this. Right? Like, that's an older version, but it looked like this. That looks good. It looks good for 4. Okay, now I just want to show you this. This is Far Cry 1. Far Cry 1. Okay? Release. When did this came out? Just for like continuity's sake, we're going to do this. 2004. Same game, same era, right? This was a little bit more like there was a lot more stuff going on, so, you know, this was PC. Look at this. That was 2004. 2004. What happened? Why aren't we like staring at games that look like so indistinguishable from real life? That like and here's the kicker, right? This game probably was only like 10 gigabytes. If they made a Far Cry today, yeah, it'd look really good, right? It'd look really good. I mean, look at Expedition 33. Expedition 33 Looks really good. Okay? I just want to show you guys this. This looks look really good. You know? It's very pretty. Very pretty game. But it's like 100 gigabytes or some crazy crap like that, right? And you gotta have like all this modern software and these modern hard drives and these modern CPUs. And that's fine. That's fine. But like, why? Why? It doesn't need to look it doesn't need to look realistic to sell a game anymore. But it also, like, to me, this is not that far up of a like a graphical. This is a design choice to make it look like the way that it does, right? And now we have a lot more modern like ways of dealing with things. But like, I don't know, man. I feel like that around 2012, games that came out in 2012, games that came out on PC in 2012. I think I actually heard of it, but something about it didn't appeal. Maybe, don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was made by the people who made oh, I can never pronounce it right. Uatari something or rather. PS3 360 era. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to show something that like clearly looked different, intentionally, just to show, like, prove a point that like all this time has gone by, like 20 years has gone by, and we really haven't gotten that far graphically. Things do look a lot better, but like, I just want to drive home the point that we're still kind of like, that's Cyberpunk. Google, please. Please, Google. What was it? Far Cry 3? And this used to be the standard, right? This used to be the standard. This was the standard. I'm trying to get like a big picture. No, I don't want to do that. I remember them talking about how good this game was going to look. I remember how impressive and like being like shocked by like this still looks good. If you release this game today, and this is what I want to say, right? If you released this game today as is, Far Cry 3, and it's gotten like re-releases and stuff, 2012, Far Cry 3, 2012, you know, and it looked like this, like if you release this game today, people would not bat an eye of how it looks. It wouldn't date it. It wouldn't. And so that's kind of what I mean. Like, it's not so much that like technology, because technology has increased, right? But culturally, our art styles have not changed. They're not so dramatically different that when I look at something from like Far Cry 3, from something from 2012, and I look at that and I go, yeah, like it doesn't look as graphically impressive, but like art style and vision wise, what's the difference? Where's the difference? I could release this game today. How many gigabytes? $15 gigs. 15 gigs. Look at that. 15 gigs. That's all it takes. 6.2 gigabytes for the PS3 version. And you could have played this. So like, I have 2 points. Okay. I think that's where I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. I have 2 points here. One is that we could be making games like this, releasing them today, and no one would bat an eye, right? And you could totally do that. You could make toaster, quote unquote toaster games that you could run on a freaking toaster, because there's toasters that are probably going to come out that will have AI and will do your like, it will like count how many slices of bread you used and order another loaf of bread when you like run out, you know? like for you. You can hook it up into your Amazon. If someone doesn't have that already, I'm sure that someone is working on it. I just saw a washer and dryer that was like connected to the internet. I'm like, what do you need that for? You don't need that. So anyways, you could have games like this release and no one would care. They would play them. The gameplay is the most important part. The second point that I'm going to make real quick before the ads is culturally, I don't think that a game from 2004, like art style wise, vision, and the type of game that it is, dates it. The cars in Gran Turismo 4 look like stuff that I'd see on the road today. You know? Like, and then this came out in 2022. And that's kind of like my point. Like, our style of anime even. The style of anime has not increased since the 2000s, really. In fact, I actually think that the 2000s anime look better. That hand-drawn style of anime, because they've been trying to do this, like, CGI in anime. Like, this style anime for a while now. They've been increasingly risk-averse. Yeah, and I think that that's across the board. That's across the board, and we've stagnated because of that. Like, forget economic crisis mode. I think since 2008, because of the global, there was technically a global recession in 2008. It started in America, but when unfortunately America and our political doctrine of basically tying up all of our, I don't think people realize this, but our politics since World War II in America is basically to make you become dependent on America's economy in such a way that you'll never attack us. You won't become our enemy because it's too detrimental to your economy to ever do so. And we like tried to intertwine the world in a global way so that another world war would never happen, because it'd be too economically disastrous for you to even fire a single bullet at each other, right? And in some sense, it did actually work. Countries are way more cautious now. So you could argue geopolitics all day long, but that's the reason why we did it, right? But it had an unintended consequence. It had an unintended consequence because in 2008, when our economy in the 90s and also in 2008, when our economies kind of wavered, so did the rest of the world. And I feel like the 2008 one was really bad. The 90s one was kind of a blip, you know, like you have recessions, and that's kind of what I've read about, because I was too young to really experience the 90s recession. It was like what, 88, something like that. I forget what it was, but it was such a small blip that like the rest of the world really didn't feel it as much. And I will pause. I think we'll pause the game too for a little bit. But I'll pause the conversation there while we wait for ads. So 2-minute break. If you're still here, now's your time to like stand up. Stand up, get some water, take a break, rest. I'm gonna do the same. Panda stretches, and then we'll get back into the game. And I'm sorry for the pause. I do. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Maybe I should clip it and post it, because this is stuff that I've wanted to talk about for a while. It's fascinating to me, and I hate that like other people get kind of mad about it, because it's history. You're living through history. Like, how cool is that we're living through the time that we're living through? And people are going to be talking about the 2020s for a very long time. Like, it's going to be in textbooks forever. But I'll pause there until we get done with the 2-minute. I'm gonna get us out of the dungeon while we wait. Or maybe I should just pause right here. I think maybe we should pause. And then I am seeing your comments. I'm just waiting until because I want everybody to chime in. People that are on the commercial break for 30 more seconds, I want them to be able to chime in as well. And we got about 20 seconds left. So I'm gonna, yeah. But I do see your comments and questions. Okay, and we're back. All right, so I suspended the conversation while we were at break. I hope you had a good break. Hope you got to jump up and stretch and do all that stuff. Okay, so let me jump up and read some of your comments and respond to them. There's a channel who supposedly goes into a lot. Get it suggested their videos quite often, but I never check them out. Yeah, Jenna, it's a thing that I got this idea from someone else. There's a really good documentary about kind of this same topic, and it uses The Matrix as an example. And I really do agree that culturally, at least for the West, right, I could say that there is a little bit of a difference between the 2000s and now in places like Japan, China, even India, and Australia. But as far as like Europe and America is concerned, Canada, Europe, America, you know, North America. When I say America, I mean North America in general. I feel like that, culturally speaking, we're kind of still stuck in, and you see, it's really tiny increments, right? It's not like it used to be. Go look at a 70s car, and then go look at an 80s car, and then go look at a 90s car, and then go look at a 2000s car, and then again look at one coming out today, right? And see those each individual segments of history. There was massive jumps in cultural, art, architecture, style, the way we dressed, the music that we listened to, the style of music we listened to, what was pop culture back then as opposed to now. And you'll see that from the 90s to the 2026, it's incremental. There are some changes there, but it's way slower. And there's tons of theories about it. It's really interesting. And so I've been watching a lot of videos because I'm fascinated about this. I think I don't know why more people aren't talking about this phenomenon and why it's happening. And I think that like maybe it's because it's happening to us right now. We don't really have the answer as to, oh, this one thing that we did in society is causing the problem. I don't know. As costs have ballooned, AAA studios. Okay, I read that one. I'm sure more people would get upset about it on X for something they did back in the day, but then Orange Man flipped that on its head. I mean, yeah, you could argue different presidents did different stuff, but I'm more focused on like the overall like the story, the bigger picture, because presidents be presidents, and you know, things happen. And I think that a lot of this kind of started, a lot of the stuff that we're going through now actually started in 2008 with the housing market crisis in America. And then kind of ballooned out of control because there was some other key things that happened. And I think that the globalism, for the most part, there was some quiet people who were saying it through the 90s and the 2000s. I've read, like historical documents and things like that I've read, archives of newspaper articles, old videos that people have posted and talked about this topic. But you know, there was some people, and the reason why no one was listening to them is they were saying globalism bad, you know, but they are right in one facet, and we do have to look at that. And I think that it's a really fascinating thing, regardless of your politics. The one consequence to the world globalizing, the new world order, World Economic Forum, those things that were born out of World War II, The liberal world order is the new world order, by the way, if anyone's, if you're not familiar with like history or like of the earth or like humanity. And the idea behind that was to tie you up with like peaceful things, right? Let's war peacefully with like economics and politics, you know, policy. We can argue over policy and like who should buy what and how we should run our countries economically all day long, and people aren't going to die over that. So that's fine. That's where we should. And the idea was that, well, if I trade globally with everyone, then like I'm going to take everybody down. It's kind of like an economic nuclear bomb is basically what we invented. I don't know that it was necessarily an American idea. I think it was collectively the West's idea and something that they imposed on the entire world. You know, the Allies, the victors of World War II, created this. And I think that there were unintended consequences to that. And one of those is depressions, recessions, economic downturns that are no fault of anyone else's. It's just things happen. Things happen, you know? You're always going, you can't just number go up, monkey brain go burr all the time. You're gonna have a lull in like economics and things like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what president you have. It does not matter what, because crap happens. So like, I think that's one consequence that we're seeing, and it really, they kind of ignored it, through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s because there was ups and downs, yeah, but they weren't huge ups and downs. And for most part, it was either staying the same or just slightly gradually going up. It really wasn't like coming to a head yet. These problems weren't bubbling up as much as we're seeing them now. 2008 comes, the recession hits, and people start kind of like panicking, and a lot of like really big proponents of like globalism kind of, you know, now you have two factions that were like, they're starting to form ideas. 2010 was kind of a consequential time period. 2010, 2012, the 2012 was kind of a turning point for a lot of people on, well, hey, maybe this globalism thing isn't really working out. And so now they're making moves, and that's also affecting the economy. And so there's a lot of factors going into that. And that's kind of really what I'm talking about. But I think it has a cultural ramification. It has an economic and a cultural ramification, because when you tie up all these countries, you tie up all of us globally. What is our culture like? What's the West's culture? It's just collectively the West now. Like, I can tap into and adopt things that I like about the German culture, or the American culture, or the French culture, or the British culture, so much more easier now because of trade, because of the internet, and all of these things. And I think that has, unfortunately, this is my theory. I think that it has an unintended consequence of kind of stagnating cultural growth of one particular style or country, right? Because like Germany's culture from the 70s to the 2000s was different than, and its growth and the direction that it moved, very different from the American culture from the 70s to the 2000s. And you know, I wasn't born there, but there's, you know, bell-bottom jeans and things like that, the colorful clothing styles in the 80s, and then the 90s was kind of like emo pop punk stuff, and a lot of more muted tones, but they still kind of kept a lot of that like 80s vibe, because there was still a lot of people nostalgic about that time period. And now what we're finding is that there's people nostalgic about the 2000s. So a lot of like 2000s style, like the see-through plastic, the see-through Game Boy plastic, you know, Game Boy, people are wanting that kind of stuff again. They want see-through plastic electronics again, which was like 2000s, 2006, 2005, I think is when, I can't remember when that particular Game Boy came out, but that was that time period, right? And now people are like, oh man, the 2000s, they were so great. Y2K was so great. It's not too obvious for me because I don't like realistic graphics games, and anime style games don't really have the same issue, luckily. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. And I think that's, you know, My theory is demographic shift. As the population ages, a smaller portion of the demographic is young people, say 30 and younger, who are the ones who drive pop culture. There are casualties this way too, but it's not violent, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what they weighed when they got together. What they got together and they said, well, what's the thing that we could do that would be the least violent, like, because people are gonna they're gonna disagree, and I think that what they came up with was like the world economic system that we have today. There are casualties this way too, but it's not. You saw some really fascinating things come out of Germany culture starting in the 60s as the first post-war generation came of age. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true because I think car culture is a big influence on me, so I can respect the German car culture. I think really kind of sold itself globally, and I think a lot of German economics was built around at the start, you know, historically speaking, Audi, Volkswagen, you know, you started seeing a lot of this stuff pop up in other places in the world, and that like Autobahn culture basically pop up in the rest of the world, and Germany started to like, hey, we're not all like this, we're not all evil people, and we're so sorry for like the atrocities we committed. Obviously, the German people are, you know, I think at this point in time, that happened so long ago that I have no problems with Germans now. I think that I understand why they do the things they do, but they don't have to keep apologizing for something that some dumb dude in the 1940s did. Like, what are we talking about? It's like if France was still apologizing about Napoleon, you know, like imagine the French people whenever they like went around. Imagine the French people, like, they start a conversation, they were like, we're so sorry that Napoleon did what he did. I'd argue that imported cultures don't really teach anything, though. With restaurants as an example, we have a lot of Asian restaurants here, and people say that's Asian food, but it's really only Asian inspired, and you'll not really find the same stuff in Thailand, Japan, etc. Yeah, to a degree. So one of the things I will say about one of the things I will say about culture and is I think is really interesting is that so I want to give an example, right? We're sitting here playing Final Fantasy 2, so this is relevant. Japan has a form of soft power over the world, and for good reason too, right? But in the form of anime, music, and video games. They exported their culture, or a like cross section of their culture. They did not import all of the Japanese culture, right? They imported the stuff that they felt that other people could resonate with. And I think that, like, if you look at it, the way that there are parts of your culture, this is probably a really bad way to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Well, if we look at civilization, right, what is one of the goals of civilization? Well, one of the goals allows you to have a cultural victory in the game. So if we look at cultures and countries or empires, one of the ways that they can like continue their legacy or protect their people or win, quote unquote, is to have a cultural dominance to an extent that look at Rome, for instance, right? Still, look how many thousands of years have gone by, and people still talk about the Roman Empire and the culture of the Roman Empire and how it's influenced the Western civilizations, right? And how substantial that is, that for hundreds of years after the Roman Empire fell, you essentially had countries that were born out of the idea of wanting to resurrect the Roman Empire, right? So one of the ways that you can like sustain yourself you know, for future generations or whatever, like what helps out a lot is by exporting your culture. Now, I don't think that you should export your entire culture, and I think that that's the hot take and where people they get mad at me, right? I think that if we look at Egypt as an example, and I just actually watched a podcast, and this guy had a really, really good take on this, and I 100% agree with him. Way smarter dude than I am, anthropologist, and he studies ancient cultures, and I wish I could do that with my life. It'd be really cool, right? But if we look at ancient Egypt and how you know, culturally they were really respected. They went through a lot of stuff, and Japan's kind of the same way. I think that even if some cataclysmic event happened today, everyone in Japan had to leave that event 4,000 years from now, because it's been recorded, people are still going to talk about, try to recreate, and reminisce about Japanese video games, anime, and music. That's just the way it is. And I think that was the smartest thing that Japan has ever done in the entirety of their history. It was massive when, and you could argue that, like, oh, the evil Imperial Americans came over there and forced them, the Japanese people, to open their borders, right? They were a very, I've heard that actual take before, which I think, yeah, you could argue that, but it was actually a really good thing for Japan's history, for them but when you abuse that and you meld all these cultures together, there is something of a semblance of losing oneself. And I want to be careful with it, because what I'm not saying is that I think you should go around and be like, this is my culture, get the hell out. You know, I'm not saying that. Because look, I like anime, and I'm not even, like, my ancestors came from, like, Scandinavia and Great Britain, you know? So, the Scandinavian region and Great Britain. I think I have, like, Sir Francis Drake on one side of the family and, like, Viking culture on the other side of the family. And a little bit of Germans. There's a couple of Germans running around in there, too. Might be why I have that might actually be why I have a hard time with and being cynical. I'm kidding, of course. Jenna could probably help me out there with that joke. The Germans. But yeah, so, like, Japan probably, we definitely need to learn from it to not repeat mistakes, but still blaming the current generation is definitely dumb, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame, I mean, there's nuances to it. There's a lot going on, really, and you can't really say one way or the other. It's those damn MAGA people. You can't say that, really, because there's a lot going on culturally, in the West right now, right? We're in a really weird time, but I'm kind of excited for it in a weird way, because, like I said on break, I think that people are going to be talking about they're going to be talking about this time period of, like, the West for, like, generations, man. Like, this is gonna be, like, on a holographic reel in, like, the year 5000 AD, and they're gonna be it's gonna be called, like, the influence of Western powers in the early 2020s, or early to mid 2020s, like the cultural dynamic of the cultural and dynamic shifts of the Western empires of the 2020s, and then it'll be on some, like, hologram reel, or, like, some VR setup, or, like, maybe it'll just get beamed into some kid's brain by then because it's the year 5000. Who knows? I don't know. But I think that's gonna be, like, this time period we are living in now is probably gonna be talked about more than the 90s, for example. I think they'll talk about the 70s, and they'll talk about the 80s, and they'll talk about the Roaring 50s, and they'll talk about World War II, probably. I don't think they'll talk about the early 2000s. I think it'll be like briefly touched, you know. I'm sorry. I don't think we're gonna be forever. I think it'll be like a chapter, 1,000 years from now, talking about 9/11, right? That's substantial to us because there's still people that live through it. But when you get 1,000 years out removed from that, then like I don't. It's gonna be a chapter. Like, yeah, people are gonna be like, yeah, it affected us, but like, people are going to stop caring about it at some point, like Genghis Khan and all other atrocities of 200 plus years ago. Yeah, I mean, people talk about like, oh my God, this is like World War II, right? Oh my God, he's like Hitler. Oh my God, he's like X, insert X thing here, you know? And I think it's so funny because like Genghis Khan and Napoleon, and there's a lot of different rulers from different countries like that were just terrible, like terrible people, and did really atrocious things, you know? Like, what are we even talking about? Like the Aztecs, for instance, man, like they sacrificed people to a sun god, like, and specifically would round up like virgin women or young girls, virgins and babies, and would like ritualistically get everybody together in a big group. They would go up to an altar and like, I don't even know TOS wise if I can describe what we know based off of like Spanish conquistadors, what they witnessed that they did. And they believed that the sun needed to rise if they didn't have the beating heart of a young virgin woman, like sacrificed on an altar, and they'd like rip her heart out, right? And so like, that's just, and this was like common, you know, like this wasn't just like, they did this all the time. This wasn't just like a one-off account. This was like part of their culture, you know. It was like, and I get it, like to them that was like, it was an honor, you know. They would lay their lives down to ensure that the sun would come up the next day, right? But like, you don't have to live like that. If you did that today, if you told me that there was a country doing that today, there would be like people would throw fits, just like the Spanish conquistadors did. And actually, what's really funny about that is that the Spanish conquistadors actually almost lost that fight, and that the only reason that they started winning against the Aztecs, because they were outnumbered, like significantly outnumbered. They didn't bring nearly enough men, and help was not going to come fast enough, because it was like slow boat. You know, it was they were gonna be there in 3 months. Well, they were gonna lose the war in 3 months. But what happened was they got sick. They imported more than just like themselves into Mexico. They imported like disease, and all of their like warriors and like their culture got really sick. Why? I feel like this is a loop. Like I've been here before. I don't take those accounts at face value personally. Yeah, I mean, sure, we could argue that, but it is a part of like, I believe like translated documents that the Aztecs talked about, that this is what was going on, that they believed this was a part of their religion too. Like human sacrifice was part of their, that was actually part of their religion. And something else that was a part of their, because the Spanish conquistadors, we don't know this from the Spanish conquistadors, we know this from like actual Aztec writing, that it was commonplace for when the Aztecs were like making their empire, and they were going around subjugating all these tribes in like Central America and Mexico, they would do really kind of like heinous things to their enemies as a way to, how do I put it? Like battle trophies almost, but it was like ritualistic, like, drinking the blood of your enemies. There was some of the other stuff they did. I think that there was like one general or like one ruler who like, I want to say that he like wore the head of his captors around like into battle or something. Like he took them with him so that like his enemies knew, like, hey, don't fear me because like look what happened to this guy. This is what happens when you cross me, so don't do that. And so like the Aztecs were a really brutal culture. And then if you look at like that sporting event, like I will say the same thing about Rome. Look at Rome, like the gladiators, right? Like imagine if the Colosseum existed today. Like people would be absolutely outraged at any country that would ever do the gladiator stuff. Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. As savages, yeah, I'm sure they did. But, yeah, I mean, and they did go in there with the intent of like destroying them. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that the Spanish conquistadors went into Mexico with bad intentions. Well, modern day Mexico with bad intentions, because they absolutely did. They went there to colony build. But I'm just saying there's two sides to every story. That was kind of the whole point to that. There's two sides to every story in history. I think I've been here before, says the time travel panda. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, I don't know. I just find all that stuff fascinating, and the history and the interpretations of it. I like history, and I think that like modern stuff is like, in a way, is, you know, it's historical. Some of it doesn't matter. A lot of times I'm bored with the news because it's just like, just endless bickering for no apparent reason. All right, we need to open the map because I felt like, yeah, so we've been to this floor. How do I get to that floor then? Because I went up there, right? Okay, so we're gonna go up there. Let me just go up here, and you guys can see, because I'm talking and reading chat too. So like, this is why I'm confused by this. I go through the door, I go up the thing, and it's just like looping me back around. I swear that's what's happening. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm crazy. Am I crazy? I think I was crazy. No, because I opened that chest. I've been there before. And I need to go... Oh, okay, I see what I need to do. I see what I need to do. That's why. Okay. I think I want to add to that caveat that I don't find the Aztecs to be like savages or devils or anything like that. I find that my modern brain and my modern outlook of that is that I don't think that I would be acceptable of a country of that size that they were doing human sacrifices for their for religious purposes today. And that's kind of the only thing, like the caveat that I don't think that's not acceptable, right, for me. But that said, they had some really cool stuff. You're like the Aztecs were cool, man. Like, their temples are cool. I think I actually like North American like ancient cultures more than I do like ancient Greece. Ancient Greece is cool, but like, and there's some really cool stuff about that. I was actually reading about the some of that the other day, but it was a much more brutal world. Yeah, I mean, when you have a nation like the Aztecs that are based off of religion like that, like, I think one good thing about living in the modern era, right? We should be thankful we were born in this era of separation most countries, right? I'm not going to say all, because there are some. Most countries have separation of church and state at this point, right? But for generations, most of human history, we have been under the rule of a dude in robe, and he pretends to have the best interests of humanity as a clergyman, and he uses that religion in a nefarious way. I'm not saying that religion is bad, because I'm actually religious myself, but I think that I can't deny that pretty much every religion in ancient history used that to their advantage, that these dumb peasants are gonna believe me because I told them that that's what it says in this holy book, you know, and I can't deny that fact. But I am religious. I do think that I do believe in a higher power and all of that stuff. I'm Christian, so to a degree. I'm spiritual and Christian, let's put it that way. So, like, not knocking it, but I am saying it sure does seem like it's been abused for most of human history. And so, like, I think we all should be thankful that we live in the modern times, because you could have got lucked out and was born as an Aztec in the Aztec religion, and it was brutal, man. Being born a peasant in the Aztec Empire, in the height of the Aztec Empire, brutal, absolutely brutal. They were not. I don't feel like they were very nice to their peasants, and they were definitely not nice to their enemies. You know, if you fought them in battle and lost, if they didn't kill you or like sacrifice you on the battle afterwards, you were probably a slave and treated less than human. Sometimes I wonder what a present-day Inca, Aztec, Maya, or Olmec civ would be like. I want to have a setting like that in a game at some point too. Spanish Inquisition used to torture heathens to death, also for religious reasons. Not trying to say the scale was equivalent. I doubt it was. Yeah, I mean it was kind of rare, but like, yeah, the Spanish conquistadors were not they were not very nice men, and they were abusing their Catholic faith. I think that it's, you know, if you want to go down a religious route, you could say that the devil definitely had his way with the Catholics from the medieval age up to about I don't even know, because I don't really know that much about Catholic history, other than like I'm Lutheran, so I know like Protestant history and stuff, but I don't know Catholic history very well. I would say probably a couple hundred years after the Reformation. So what was that, the 1300s? I would say about the 16... Yeah, that sounds about right. The 1600s, I would say, is the Catholics started to kind of chill out in most countries, but it was still definitely being abused for a lot of reasons, all the way up until probably the 1900s. Like, realistically, America was like... America was kind of a weird place in when it was first formed. You know, United States was like a weird place. A lot of those countries were like playing around with these ideas. These ideas were not inherited by the United States. Actually, if you go back and read history and like who the founding fathers were and who their friends were and who they were like influenced by, or like who these generals were that was helping us during the American Revolution, a lot of these guys just didn't even live here. They were like part-time immigrants. They weren't really even immigrants. They would just like, oh yeah, I go to the colonies all the time, bro. Like it was some kind of cool man's thing, you know, like imagine Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and they go and like, but it's like the 1800s, and they're like, oh yeah, bro, I got this new boat, check it out, right? And, oh yeah, I was like, you wanna sail to Boston with me? And they'd be like, oh yeah, cool, we can make all kinds of trade and stuff. And that's like kind of the equivalent, right? Like if you think about it, like Jeff Bezos, Elon, who's the Microsoft guy? I always forget his name. Bill Gates, all the like billionaires, right, that we have today. The modern equivalent of that was like these generals and a lot of these other people who are very prestigious, and they had like their own They had their own like warship. They were just like sailing around. Imagine if Jeff Bezos imagine if Jeff Bezos had an aircraft carrier. That's what it would be like. Imagine Jeff Bezos with an aircraft carrier just sailing around the ocean, just whatever he wants to do. Oh, he's just gonna pull up to this country and like subjugate it. And like today I'm doing this for America. Tomorrow I might be doing it for Germany. Whoever the highest bidder is, technically, you know, like the privateer times. It definitely was not like the Pirates of the Caribbean. Most of those guys were like wealthy individuals who happened to own a warship, and they were like some kind of general or like in the military. And then like John Paul Jones, for instance. John Paul Jones was a conscript of the American Empire. Like, he was just like, yeah, I like those guys. I'll go fight for you guys. And so he signed up. But he really wasn't like... John Paul Jones was doing stuff in Europe for like Sweden at the time. And he was like, yeah, he like got a letter, like a missive, I guess on his way. I don't know how it worked. I don't know how to tell the story properly. But John Paul Jones was not necessarily like I think he had land in the colonies, from what I understand. I could be wrong about that. I don't know my early pre-American history very well. But he definitely was like a rich dude that was like a privateer. He was definitely like, they basically like told him, go fly a black flag off the coast of England and like steal boats for America, and that's what he did. The first American ship to China sold 30 tons of ginseng for $240,000, a profit of 0.15% of U.S. GDP in 1783. Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm just gonna like go do this. Like, and a lot of times those guys that were doing that in a time of war, right? So there's colonies in England. There's colonies from Spain. There's colonies from Portugal, and they're all in the Gulf of America, now called Gulf of America, which by the way, I actually kind of agree with, because if we look at it from the standpoint that it's North America, like technically we should call it the Gulf of North America, because it's Mexico and America, and that's not Central. Mexico's not Central America. So it's the Gulf of America because it's a gulf that touches the Americas. We should call it the Gulf of Americas. It shouldn't be called the Gulf of Mexico. It's the Gulf of Americas. Put an S at the end, because it touches South and North America. But anyways, this little caveat. Little nugget for you. Am I going the wrong way again? No, I don't think I am. Must have been like visiting another planet. I can't even imagine. Like, I wish I would have signed up to be a sailor. I don't care if I would have got scurvy. Give me a time travel machine. Like, I got plopped into 2026 from the year 3036 or 30 the 3000s, right? And yeah, we got space travel, but by then, but man, that'd be so cool to be a sailor back then. It would have been, and I don't know, maybe I'm glorifying it. I'm romanticizing being a sailor, because they did have a lot of problems. Scurvy was a huge problem. That was a huge problem. You know, you were on a boat for 3 months, and you would oftentimes run out of a variety of foods, and so you're eating the same slop the whole day in, day out for like 2 months straight. And you'd get scurvy, and your teeth would fall out because you don't have a balanced berry diet like we're capable of having in a modern era, you know? But I think it still would have been cool, because like, going from America to China, and China was like kind of a different country, like in a completely different state back then. Like, if you go to China now, you'll recognize a lot of stuff, right? But like back then, going to China would have been like stepping into a weird like alternate dimension practically. Like, these people don't do anything the same as you. Now China is like, you'd be like, yeah, that's a skyscraper. Oh, that's a car over there. Like you kind of know, you know. There's a lot of stuff that you'd be like, it's what getting Shanghai comes from. It must have been like visiting other. It sucks so much they often had to traffic people to cruise ships. Yeah, and I know that I'm romanticizing it because of that. But I still think, I don't know, if something happens here in the next like 10 years, and I'm capable of working on a space, like a crew that travels from like the colony in Mars or the moon, and I might sign up. I don't care. I mean, I don't know. It'd be cool. I think, I don't know. Maybe I'd hate it. Maybe I'm romanticizing it. I probably am. Yeah, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were probably, if you were pulling people off the streets like that and dupe them into crewing a ship, you didn't have to pay them the same amount as like an expert sailor. Because you do read papers about like stuff like that sometimes too, like, you know, John Paul Jones, when they give him the task to go to Great Britain, off the coast of the United Kingdom, and like harass naval ships on their way to America, like, and steal weapons and like guns and stuff from the British, to like, so that it wouldn't end up in the colonies. You read about like, you know, he didn't just select anybody to do that. You kind of had to know what you were doing as a sailor, to do that. That wasn't, oh yeah, I'll teach you how to be a sailor. But like, if you're just a trader, I feel like that they were like, oh, I could practically not have to pay this guy, if I just like, but a lot of people did it willingly too. Yeah, I think that there was like a lot of respectable sailors back then. I think a lot, you know, there's merchant marines. I don't know that I necessarily would want to be a merchant marine right now, but merchant marines are basically the same thing. That's the equivalent. It's called a merchant marine. There are privatized merchant marines, but the public merchant marines are state sponsored. You go to school for it by the government helps you. There's like a school for it. You learn how to be a sailor, and you crew a ship. You might not necessarily be a boatswain mate or something, or you know, you're just really kind of a boatswain mate. You're tying ropes, doing patrols on the ship, making sure everything's like good to go. And you might be doing some stuff, but like most of the time, the dudes that are like driving the ship or like doing radar or like the comms, or like they go to school for something else. But like a merchant marine, oftentimes is like I think a lot of them, a good percentage of them are probably like just, and I don't know this, but like just your average Joe that like happens to work on a ship. There's a lot less people that work on the bridge of a ship, like a cargo freighter, than there are of that are like walking the decks. I don't really know though, because I've never worked on a ship before, so. There was the potential to make a lot of money if the voyage went well, and I'm sure the sense of adventure was real too. Yeah, I'm sure that there was people who got duped into being to cruise ships, but I bet you that there was probably a lot of like good businessmen who were like, look, I'm not gonna do what the other companies do. And so like everybody wanted to work for them. That like, you know, if you worked in a port, or you like grew up in a port like Boston or something, I bet, right? It's respectable work, it depending on your employer. But that's kind of the same way with today, right? Like, garbage truck guys, I don't think I'd want to, like, that's a dirty job. I would want to drive a garbage truck, but some municipalities pay really freaking good for that, and they take really good care of their people. You get health benefits, all kinds of stuff. And like, it's a really respectable thing to be a garbage truck guy nowadays, you know? Like, it's, and you don't have to go to college. You won't be in college debt, and you'll still make like, depending on which city you work for, you might still make like $40 an hour, just picking up trash. It was actually pretty competitive to get a position on a ship in the Dutch East India Company because it paid very well for the time, and also they would pay your family for the voyage even if you died. Yeah, that's what I figured too. You know, like I'm sure that there was, I think the Dutch East India Company was kind of like working for a Fortune 500 company today, right? Good conversations, though. Chest container. Tried it. Main gaunch. Monsters! And a lot of guys would bring opium back home to resell and make a small fortune. Yeah, that's the dark side of all of that stuff, right? I yapped for so long that my my voice is kind of. I'm gonna have to go get some water. On our next break, I'm gonna have to go get water. But yeah, our conversation kind of like went a whole bunch of different places, a lot of different avenues. So I hope I was making coherent sense I hope I wasn't just rambling. I feel like I was kind of just rambling, to be honest. All right, we got an ice shield. We need to use some of these high potions. It's getting kind of low. All right, that's fine. And then I think I can use a little bit of Maria's magic here. Here, and then Warden. Okay, that's everybody. All right, we're doing a lot better now. Giant's helmet. Okay, so let's give you. Let's give you a trident. We'll leave the golden shield alone. Let's give you... Yeah, let's go back to daggers with you. And then, I kind of want to give you this, ice shield. Oh, man, it's so low in defense, though. My attack will be way lower. Okay, what about Giant's helmet? Attack and defense, evasion is way lower. Yeah, he's kind of my brute. I think Freyon, let's give you the Giant's helmet. And then Gordon, I want to give a... Yeah, we're going to keep you with the axe. And then... Oh, damn. Do I have 2 Giant's helmets? His attack goes up with that. Let's give you the Giant's helmet. And then... Okay, let's give Maria the thief's gloves for sure. Oh, a dark bow. I have not been doing anything with the... Do we give you the ice shield? Do we give you the ice shield, Gordon? I don't know. I think we give it to... Is the ice shield the same? It's the same stats here. And he's using dual weapons, so I kinda... Yeah, I guess we can. Oh, wow. I don't really think you have... Yeah, I think that's good for composition now. Okay. Okay, I don't need to do that. Let's just have you attack, and then magic. I'm still trying. These are Helldivers. I wonder if Blizzard will work better. And then attack. But yeah, I hope my rambling was not... I hope it was entertaining. I hope you liked it and it wasn't too rambly. I know we kind of went a lot of different places, and I said a lot of different things, and I hope it all made sense. I can reiterate points if you want, or we can talk about... I've never really talked about any of this stuff on stream before, but I like talking about this stuff, and I hope it made sense. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I felt like I kind of... We started with like the stagnation of modern culture, modern Western culture. Because I do feel like that. I think Eastern culture is in a weird spot right now. It's emulating too much of the West. I feel like that they try too hard. We kind of imported a lot of our culture to them, and now they're kind of stuck in this weird spot where they're not really, like, Japan and Korea are kind of making it their own, but like, for instance, a good example of this is Japan loves drum and bass. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Japanese people love drum and bass, and so drum and bass is like really huge over there. It has been really huge over there. It's a very pop culturally like thing that's going on over there. It has been going on over there for a while, and they've even, you know, started making their own. And like another example of this would be hard techno. Hard techno is primarily a German export to the rest of the world. You know, it started, I would say, like, true hard techno started in Berlin, right? But it's peripheralated throughout the entire world. And I think one of those things that it's done, Japan has kind of taken it and made it its own thing. But it still has that, like, remnants of being, like, the Berlin style techno, you know? Like, it still retains its identity. And so they're kind of in a weird spot. But at least they're, like, progressing a little bit faster than because, like, when I say that I feel that Western culture is stagnating, what I don't mean is that I feel like that it's completely dead, because it's not. It's not completely dead. It's not a net zero is what I'm getting at. We are moving forward. It's just way slower than we were from the 70s to the 2000s. Like that time period from 70s to 2000s is way slower. But I think that, I mean, it's possible that from the 30s to the 90s, that was like the fastest that culture has ever moved. I don't know. I don't know enough to say that for certain though. Another ad break starting in 2 minutes. I will be taking a small little break and getting some water. So I'll pull up the be right back screen. I'm gonna go get some water because we yapped quite a lot. That was some good yapping. I don't see any other doors. So we can just literally just do this. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so maybe not that way. Oh, nope, not that way. They didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought it was going to do. Also, we need to maybe think about giving oh, definitely. Guy needs that. Yeah, I think we'll give you Scourge as well. Do we give it to Furion? He has like nothing but fire. I don't know that I want to do sleep on him. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, and then blind. Well, we can do blind too. And then I've got all these like Cure Tome. Who needs it the most? No one really needs that at this moment in time. Oh. I have a theory, and we're gonna try it right now. Okay, so I think that the mines do better with, oh, ad started. Okay, so, we're gonna pause here, and then I am going to, go to break. So, I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. I got some water. I got some tea, actually. I got some tea. Good old-fashioned, normal, American tea. I don't even know what kind of tea this is. It's just American tea. It's just sweet tea. It's not even sweet tea. I don't even know what kind of like what is the most common, like what is Lipton? You know how like you go to the store? What kind of tea is Lipton tea? It's just a classic black tea. Okay. All right. That's what I have. I just have like you just go to the store and you just get bags of black tea, you know? I don't know. I'm not British. I kind of am. I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. I do that like once a stream. Are we gonna have to create a counter for every time I like mess up and accidentally transition the scene? Is that gonna be a thing? I wish there was two-handed swords, cause Guy, I wanted to make Guy the Dark Knight. Guy is basically unironically our Dark Knight. That's why he can do black magic. Black and white magic. I cannot wait until this magic system opens up more, to be honest. I want float. I want float. Give me float. I love float. I love that spell. I love giving myself float, and I love all the different. Let's just use this. Scourge. Let's just use Scourge. Let's see what happens. I wanna see what happens. What is Scourge? Okay, don't kill everything first. I'm trying to do something here. Okay, thank you. Oh, that was really weak. So like, I guess we're gonna have to level that up. We're gonna have to level that up. That's something I have to level up. Like 100%, we gotta level that up. Just keep using Scourge on like literally everything. Oh my god, let me in. We're gonna have to attack one, aren't we? Wait. How do they get leech? I want leech. Give me leech. You guys are dicks. I want leech. Sorry, I shouldn't cuss like that. You guys are jerks. I would like to have leech, please. Okay, maybe it's Basuna. It's either Asuna or Basuna. One of the two gets rid of the Leech King. Not the Lich King, it's the Leech King. What? That missed too? How do I get rid of paralysis then? How do I get rid of a paralysis then? I got eye drops. Do I not have the thing for paralysis? I guess I don't. Okay, well, whatever. Seriously, Maria, you have nothing that I can do to get rid of paralysis. She doesn't. Alright, well, whatever. Let's get some mana. I wish that there was a version of mana that would like leech mana off of them and then give it to me. That would be really nice. Like, bum 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 bum. I wish it would like put the dudes on the. Yeah, so we're gonna have to fight at least one because he's over there. All right. There's like no way really. Rebel Curse. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We can do this. We can do this. You ready? You ready? We're gonna do this. All right. I want to do Berserk. We're going to put it on you. Then we're gonna do this. Time to unplug the EV. Yeah. Time to do some damage. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. All right, can we get Scourge off on you and then attack on him? Does it not leave Scourge on him? That's what I want to know. Okay, I want to save some of this for the boss fight. So we're just gonna go attack. I just sawed this Dreadnought in half. Yeah. What Dreadnought? We're almost beating it. We're almost gonna beat it. What? We just beat it. We just beat this guy. That's not fair. Oh, he does a lot of damage too. All right, guy. Get going, get going. All right, now this time. Did that work? We defeated him twice. Will you let me pass now? What am I supposed to do here? All right, time to pull up the guide. Okay, all right. Sad that I had to use a guide. We've been kind of doing it without for a while now, but. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Blizzard 5? That's not allowed. Oh, don't blind me. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. All right, items, use eye drops. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we gotta go all the way around. All the way. Rats. Rats! You know, because they're rats, I'm like, you know how some people say that instead of like cursing? They'll be like, rats. I think that, I kind of wonder if, was it rats first, or did it become, was it drats first and then it became rats? Or was it rats and then they said drats? Drats. These are the weird questions I have sometimes. Language is a very interesting thing. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I learned a cool language fact. What's your cool language fact? Hit me with your cool language fact. I'm saying fact instead of fact. But you get what I'm saying. I need to start learning Japanese better. I'm really disappointed in myself that I was doing it like every day for like 4 or 5 months, and then I stopped last year, and it's been a really hard time to get it like back up and running again on me. Mead and / Mitsu is an English-Japanese cognate for honey. Conjugate. Mitsu. Mitsu. Key items, Sunfire. Yeah, we're finally gonna beat this dreadnought. Oh, look at them cool pixelated flames. You throw the Sunfire into the engine. Uh-oh, we gotta get out of here. What have you done? The engine. That voice. There's no time. Maria, the ship will blow up any minute. We have to get to Sid's airship. Oh, that's cool. There's a cutscene. Is this the first cutscene that we've seen? Like, actual proper cutscene for a story? I think it might be, actually. I think the other ones were just kind of like, here and there. Oh, I guess there was one in the beginning of this game. But, like, Final Fantasy 1 didn't have any of this. So this was probably revolutionary for them to like see this. They probably were like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." To carry an extinct Western Chinese Indo-European language, MIT, Middle Chinese, Miet, and Japanese, Mitsu. Wow! We did it! We blew up the dreadnought! Alright, we desperately need this. Yeah, we desperately need this. I don't care how much it cost. It was 708 gil, which is expensive as hell for an inn. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, anyways. The princess is safe and well. I wish the same were true of the king. It's just terrible. The king's condition has taken a sudden turn for the worst. Princess is safe, blah, blah, blah. It's just terrible. The king's condition has taken a turn for the worst. Blew up the dreadnought, did you? I always knew you had it in you. Princess is safe and well, okay. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. The princess is safe. I'm the king now. Oh, I guess actually it'd be this throne here, wouldn't it? Cheeky. Blew up the dreadnought, did you? I knew you had it in you. Gordon, Minwoo, and Furion. I have one last request to ask of each of you. Please, listen carefully. Gordon, you've grown so strong. I want you to lead our army. Do all you can to help Hilda. My liege, I swear it on my very life. Minwoo, you know of the legend. The legend speaks of the ultimate magic that was sealed away. The seal may only be broken when the world stands at the brink of destruction. I believe that time has come. Do you agree? I do. The time to break the seal binding the Ultimo Tome is upon us. Furion, I would have you go to Deist, home of the Dragoons. I was told that all of the Dragoons were slain in an attack by the Empire. Yet I refuse to believe there are no survivors in so noble a group. Okay. Did this give me the class? Did we unintentionally? I've just been kind of LARPing that they're Dragoon and she's the white mage and then what's he gonna give Guy? Like, so Furion is actually gonna become a Dragoon. That's cool. That's cool. And I wonder if I would have like picked if I would have leveled up like knife or something, would he have done something different? If we are to stand against the might of the Empire, I'm convinced we will need the Dragoons and their wyverns. If you combine your efforts, the day of our victory will come. This I ask of each of you. So I wonder if it's the same every time. Take care of Hilda. Because he didn't say anything about Guy. He wasn't like, oh, Black Mage or Dark Knight or something. We should save our tears for another time. We must carry out the king's last wish. We each have our duties. Let them not go unfulfilled. I mean, he's the general of the army, so I guess that's something. Okay, so now what? Now what? What do I do now? I guess we're gonna go get more supplies. And you return? Hey, Jenna. We're gonna go get more supplies for sure. I kind of want. What do I need? Like smelling salt or something? It's so expensive, but whatever. Okay, I want. Here's. We want to take a couple of these. We're gonna take a couple of these. I don't know if we're gonna need these or not. We'll take like 15 of them because they're cheap. Cross removes curses. We'll take a bunch of these too. I don't know if we're gonna need them. I don't know if we'll need any of that stuff. Potions. Let's take like 40 of those. Let's take like 2,000 worth of the. Let's take 10 of those. We're gonna take a bunch of eye drops. I want like 1,000. Yeah, 2,000. Okay, and then antidotes. Just to be on. We'll stock those back up. Okay. All right. Because I do have Asuna and Basuna, but antidote seems like it's a lot of different stuff. All right. So let's come down here. Do you have anything new for me here, or do you have the same equipment? Buckler, leather cap, leather gloves. Okay. What about you? Mithril shields? No. Oh, Gordon's gone and he took all my mithril stuff. Oh well. I didn't need it anyways. I don't think. Did I? I don't think I needed it. Oh, he took my ice shield though. Darn it. Why is the javelin up higher? Equip. No, but seriously. Oh. Okay, I see. No, he didn't take my ice shield. I thought he did. Maybe we didn't give him the ice shield? I don't know. So a honey mead in Skyrim is basically a honey? Yeah. Interesting. Do you have any more white mage spells for me? Nope, I don't. Okay, okay. Church. Alright, where am I supposed to go after this? We gotta go get the Ultima book. Is that what it said? Ah, okay. We got more stuff to do in this city. We have more stuff to do here. It's called something called mead or something similar in Slavic Romance language. Ah, I see. Isn't culture and language kind of interesting? Hee. Okay. She's just saying hee hee. Hee hee, I'm blocking you. Hee hee. Did the king die? Oh, okay. When the emperor first moved against Deist, we dismissed the attack as a mere skirmish. But the emperor feared the power of the dragoons. Learn dragoons. Ask dragoons. Some say the dragoons can speak the language of the wyverns. Learn wyverns. Ask about wyverns. If you go to Deist, you may find wyverns that yet live. A wyvern could make for a most advantageous ally. You should visit the port of Paloom and seek out a ship to take you to Deist. Okay? Can we show him any of this stuff? And then he tells me about it? No. Canoe. And then he's not gonna talk about any of this stuff. Okay, let's go. I think this room still is like nothing in it. I think this is still like tutorial room. Nothing happens. I got a feeling that that magic circle where you're like step into it and it says nothing happens is gonna become relevant at some point. I don't know when it'll become relevant. I'm tickling her. That's why she's giggling. Why is she giggling though? That's weird. Why is she giggling? Weird. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Be looking for passage to D-Star, are you? Well, this be your lucky day. Just so happens me ship was about to leave for D's. Be you wanting a ride? Yeah. Doesn't this seem a little too convenient for Eon? Maybe it is, but there aren't any other ships going to Deast. We're just going to have to trust her. Me name's Leah. Leia? I'll be waiting outside for this, the city for ye. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're set to go. Hey there, Kreza. Choco Broski? Yeah, Choco Bros. We're a bunch of Choco Bros around here. Forget being a crypto bro. We got Choco Bros. I'm gonna bet on them Choco Bros. Those Chocobos. Definitely not pirates. Yeah, they're pirates. It's alright. They're pirates, it's fine. Goblins. We should replace all cryptocurrency with Chocobo. I want a Chocobo coin. Can we get a Square Enix? Can we get a Chocobo coin? Can I pay money and just like Kiwis? Can we call it Kiwi coin? Kiwi coin. You know, like this, spelled like this. Can we do that? Can we get that? Can that be a real thing? There's something new about your model I can't put my finger on. There's nothing new about my model. It's more glossy? Maybe. There's nothing new about it though. It's just the post-processing. I kind of I did a couple extra things to it, to like the highlights and stuff. Yeah, I think it looks more, I think it looks better like this. I think it looks significantly better. T-Drank with the hydration check. Thank you, T-Drank. I got tea. I got tea. Everybody, that's not just for me, that's for everybody. Grab you some water. Some water. Water. We'll spare you your lives, but your loot will be ours now. You know, we're just gonna kick your ass. What's this? Is it a fight you be wanting? You really are stupid. Get 'em, boys. Yeah, it was pirates. Oh wow, that tickled. Oh wow, that tickled. All right, you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready, pirates? Just because I want to level this, and I also want to level this. Actually, you know what? You know what? We're gonna do this. I'm gonna farm you guys. Is that okay? I'm gonna farm these pirates. We're gonna farm them. We're gonna farm them. Speaking of hydration, I'm enjoying a 12-year-old Scotch whiskey highball with peach liquor. It's yummy. That's yum. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds really good, actually. All right, we're gonna kill one of them, and then I want to. What do I want to do here? What do I need to level? Silence maybe. Okay, and then magic. Let's put Berserk on you. Yeah, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. All right, let's put Plank on him just to be funny. Okay, I want to do Sap. I want to do that, and then Magic. Let's do. All right, here we go. Here we go. Do I want to do Scourge? No, I don't want to do Scourge yet. Actually, let's do Scourge on us because we're farming them. There. I put Protect, I put Shell on them, and I put Blink on them. So we made this harder because they tickle. I'm way over leveled for this. Alright. Let's do. Let's attack ourselves. Alright. I want to put Protect on everybody, and then I want this to go. Oh no, we're leveling Berserk, so we're gonna go put it on you. We gotta level up our new toys, basically. Okay, we'll get rid of one more. Let's go Cure on you, and then Magic. Let's go Blind on them to level that up. Oh, that missed. Okay. They can't even hit me. They can't even hit me. Oh my gosh. Okay. We'll take one more out, and then let's do. I wanted to. Let's do that again, and then. I guess we'll hit you all with Scourge again. Let's just hit you with Scourge. Okay, and then we're gonna attack you, and then Magic, let's go Cure on you again. Magic, let's go. I need to put Berserk on you, because we're trying to level that. Cute. Oh, I didn't put Shell on, did I? Let's attack ourselves. Magic. I need to put Shell on us, and then Magic. Let's go. I need Shell 4, and I also want Protect 5, basically. So we're leveling them. I would like to have Fire 5 on Guy. That would be nice. But we're just gonna kind of go through all of the things, and then slowly kill them off. And then slowly kill them off. Did I do... I don't know if it's per use, but we're just gonna assume it is. I also don't know why my magic on everybody else is like not the greatest. Okay, we're just gonna attack you and then all right. So now I can do thunder and get that cured going. We can get that going. Yeah, they just pathetic. I think we farmed them enough. We got enough actions out of this. Yeah, see, Blank Shell and Scourge leveled up. That's good. Okay. And then Furion got more HP. That's good. That's good. Maria got more MP. That's good. And her magic went up. Okay. Perfect. Enough. I know when I'm beat. Go on, then. Do what you're going to do and be done with it. This is our ship now. Y'all work for me. What are you up to? You want to fight the Empire together? A bunch of outcasts like us fighting right alongside the likes of ye? I want a dancer. Can I make her a dancer? I think I like the sound of that. To your post, boys. Whether it be Beast or the edge of the world, we'll get her there. Layla, join the party. Can I just keep her? Because I would like to have a dancer. I would like to have that. Cool, we have a ship now. Maria, and then we're gonna go... Oh, no. Leia. On the dagger, and she has a longsword. Okay. I think, can we go dark bow? In her opposite hand? Yeah. Oh, that's only... Okay. Alright, fine. We'll go, I don't have any good... I don't have any good daggers for her. So we'll do that, and then we'll do bronze gloves, gold hairpin, silver curious. Oh, she's super weak, though. Oh, well. That's fine. Is there any encounters with this one? There is. Killer fish. Sea snake. Okay, we'll just get rid of them. You also make a mean pina colada? I like pina coladas. They're good. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Nothing happens. So the Mycedian Tower. Okay. Items. Antidote. Get rid of that off the guy. Okay, I, once again, don't know where I'm going, so... Oh, she has thunder as well. Okay, cool. How did that not kill them? Bam, 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 bam. A black flan. I can't remember what black flan is weak against. I don't know if they'd made it that way in this game. Yeah, it is fire. Okay. Weak against spoons? Yeah. Yeah, they are. What? How did that miss? That was a fantastic joke. No, no, get out of here. No, 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 no. No, I don't like that. That's, no. Mods ban this person. I'm kidding. Ba 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 ba. Oh, that heals them. Scorch heals them. That's not fair. I don't like that. No, I don't want that. Okay, so Basuna, maybe? You're going back to building your spaceship now? Next time in Final Fantasy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Absolutely, positively terrible. We'll just use magic on them. Oh my gosh, they take so much damage. Oh my gosh, finally. And then Layla leveled up too. I forgot about this. We'll just hit them with magic. All of them. That should do it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's Cave of Mysidia. What am I supposed to do here? Okay, I think I get it. Oops. I think these are just normal bombs, right? All magic, all the time. Constantly just magics. All the magics. Yeah, so you just need to magic the shit out of it. Yeah, Normal weapons don't do anything against flans, apparently. Oh my gosh. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. All the magics, all the time, to defeat the black flans. How is that not enough? I hit them for like 400 HP. Yeah. Items, use, antidote. Stupid flans get me sick all the time. It got really quiet in here. That's crazy. This werewolf is kind of harder than the last boss was. Yay! Oh, I didn't mean to leave. This is Mycedia, Kingdom of Mages. You've certainly come a long way to be here. What can I do for you? Power Staff, Flame Lance, Ogre Killer, and Ice Bow. Well, we need this, and then we need one of these, and we need one of these. And okay, fine, we'll take one of these. Okay, equip, Furion, equip, Flame Lance, Power staff. Okay, now I can go to the armor shop. Knight's armor. Thief's gloves, giant's gloves. Yeah, we want these. I don't know that I want that. I think we're probably fine. Barrier. Teaches the barrier spell. Raises a barrier to defend against elemental attacks and status ailments when in battle. Forms a magic wall that guards against magic attacks when used in battle. Switches HP and MP with the target when used in battle. I mean, I want all of them, but I only have 5,000. Gear, blink, and protect. I have all of these. I think this one is going to be more important. A very small island lies in the middle of the sea where you'll find the black mask, the white mask's counterpart. So if you want to break the seal on the tower, yes, I agree. This is the time. We will do nothing to stop you. You must first collect the 2 masks, then travel to a certain cave somewhere on this continent. Within you should find a crystal rod, an artifact you will need if you are to enter the crystal tower. I think he mentioned the crystal tower. Dinner time? don't have enough money. The statue of the goddess is enshrined beneath the city. She watches over the crystal rods. Some time ago, a wizard named Minwu passed through town on his way to the tower. You'd best hurry after him. Statue beams with a, what? Alright, I guess that does nothing. Well, I'm sitting here falling asleep, so I think it'd be best if I end today and we try to get more done tomorrow. So I was gonna try to go for like 6 hours, but I'm out of it. And it's not gonna be fun sitting here watching me fall asleep on stream. So actually, I want to get more stuff done, so maybe I should try. Let's take a quick break from Final Fantasy, and later, homie. No, don't go just yet. I might reconsider. Let me think about it. I think I just need to stand up for a second, so let's just do. Yeah, let's just take a break for like 2 seconds. So let me quick slave. And then I'm gonna go out of here and then up here. Bear standing tall. Yeah, thank you, Sea Drank, for all right, everybody. So what we're gonna do, everyone stand up with me. I legitimately passed out. I was asleep. I will be completely honest with all of you. I fell asleep on stream. I fell asleep, and I'm so sorry. So that's why I was quiet. So let's take a little brief break from Final Fantasy right now, and we will we'll come back to this in a little bit. Okay? I think. Sound good? Sound good. All right. I think that sounds good. Let's pause here, and we'll be back with it in a little bit, like maybe an hour or something. If OBS will